Hi, this is Kathy at inkingpaperwithkat.com. Today's project is a mini Easter basket. It'll hold one of these little lint chicks. It will also hold a Cadbury egg. It would hold quite a few of the chocolate-covered little mini Easter eggs. Cute project, easy to do, and just in time for Easter. So let's get started. If you head over to my blog, you can download a PDF of all of the instructions with all of the measurements and the supplies that I used. But for today's project, we need our Simply scoreboard. We need a piece of cardstock, and I'm using Pacific Point, that is 4 1/4 by 4 1/2. We need a piece of cardstock that is 8 by 3/4. A piece of DSP that is 8 by 1/2 inch. 2 1-inch circles. A piece of Whisper White for stamping, and a scrap of cardstock. In this case, I'm using Bermuda Bay to punch our flower. We're going to start our scoring on the short side. That's the 4 1/4 side. And we're going to score at 1 3/8, 2 7/8. We're going to rotate the cardstock. On the long side, we are going to score at 1 1/2 and at 3. Leave your paper right where it is and go back, and you are going to score on 1/2 inch increments, so every 1/2 inch, to the very first horizontal score line. And you're going to do that all the way across. Of course, when you get to the 1 1/2 and the 3, those have already been scored. Then you are going to rotate your paper 180 degrees, and you are going to repeat this, scoring on every 1/2 inch increment all the way across. Okay, that's all our scoring done. Now what we need to do is make some marks so we can punch some holes. I am going to be using my grid pad, and I'm going to put my cardstock down, and I am going to punch my hole, mark for my hole about a 1/4 inch, so halfway between every one of those score lines, about a 1/4 inch up from the edge. And I just want to give myself a guide point so I can keep the punches relatively even. Now with a 1/8 inch punch, you're just going to go right along and punch all of those out. Okay, now we're going to cut up each of these short score lines, just the short ones, to the first horizontal score line. Turn it. Do both sides. Okay, now let's fold and burnish. And these I just kind of flip like that and give them a bit of a score. Alright, now what we want to do is lay our 1/4 inch strip of DSP right along this top section, so it's on the short side. And you can go all the way across and then just repunch your holes if you need to, or you can begin and end it right at the holes because that piece is going to be covered up. So I'm just going to use snail. And I am going to lay it so it just comes up to that hole. Do the other side. Make sure you're lining it up with the edge. Okay, now what we need to do is work with our 1 inch circles. You're going to fold them in half. And again, with your 1/8 inch punch, you are going to punch that was not the 1/8 inch punch. You're going to punch a hole right towards the edge, maybe 1/8 of an inch in. So center it as best you can. It's like that. You want to do it on both of them. Now let's do some assemblage. You are going to put your brad in one of your holes in your punch circle. You're going to put it through the middle tab, which is the 5th from the left. Now you are going to load on the next left tab, right tab, left tab, right tab, and continue until you get to your last tabs. Okay, holding on to your brad, twist your 1 inch circle up so your fold line's at the top, fold it over, and work your brad into the hole, just like that, and close your brad. You're going to repeat on the other side exactly the same way, and I'm not going to spend the video time to do that. I'll stop this, do it, and be back with you. Okay, both sides of our basket are together, so now let's get our handle put on. We're going to add snail to the back of our DSP, and we're just going to center it right on cardstock. And our handle is going to go in like that. I actually like to use double-sided tape for this. I use a wide tape. It's a good strong tape, and this really does need that. I just put the tape on the wrong side. Actually needs to go on the side where the DSP is. Both sides. backing off. Try to center it on the side. Now you could put it here as well, but because I want the chick to be seen, that didn't work so well. It would work great if you were doing a basket with little mini eggs. Make sure you give it a good press so it is adhered. So basically, there is your basket all done. Now what we need to do is our sentiment. Decorate it a little bit, and I am going to use Bermuda Bay ink because I'm going to do a Bermuda Bay flower. Happy Easter. This sentiment is from the Teeny Tiny Wishes set from Stampin' Up! It has a lot of great little sentiments, and they punch really well with the word window punch. Now for this one, when I punch it, I want to leave a little bit of room for some bling at one end and a flower at the other end. We're also going to punch an Itty Bitty Accents flower out of Bermuda Bay. We're going to give it a little bit of dimension just by pushing it into foam pad, the back of our piercer. I'm going to add rhinestone to the middle. Also going to put a rhinestone right on the end of my greeting. And we're going to adhere that with a mini glue dot. Somewhere in that process I lost my rhinestone. Let's try that again. There we go. It's one of those mornings. I'm going to pop this up with a dimensional, and I'm actually using the edges so that it fits nicely on. And I'm just going to put it right there, angle it up a little bit. Throw in some grass, some treats, and you have yourself a nice little gift for Easter or for May Day. Thanks for joining me.